I've got 2 words for you. Weghorst. What have I done that? I just started the next sentence anyway. What is, I went all Steve McLaren then. What is a Weghorst? He's a footballer. Plays for Wolfsburg. There are only 2 reasons West Ham should be signing footballers, as far as I'm concerned. One of them is because they might be tall, and one of them because they might have an interesting name. And very, very few names are as interesting as Weghorst. What I would like is the commentator to play along. So I'd like him to, the commentator would be saying something like, Boeing to Antonio Weghorst. But I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I quite like it. Anyway, don't worry about all that. We've been linked with him. He's 6'6", 6'6", and I sort of read it, and when I read it, I thought he's just being linked because he's tall. And then I started looking through quite a lot of the other links to some of the players West Ham are linked with, and they're all giants basically. It's like the BFG. If you've seen the BFG, it's not him. The BFG wouldn't. I don't think the BFG would make a good footballer. He's a little bit peaceful, isn't he? The BFG. The other ones. Does he live on an island? I think the BFG lives on an island or something, but there are other nastier giants on there. I think David Moyes wouldn't pick the BFG. I think he would pick some of the other ones. Anyway, what am I doing? Waffling in the van. Well, my son's got a football match. The weather's not very nice, so you have to get here 45 minutes early and have a warm-up. My warm-up largely consists of sitting inside the van and basically waiting for... keep the van. I said the van is not ticking over. That's very bad for the environment. You can hear the van's not ticking over, but I ain't standing out there at the moment. Okay, listen. I thought I'd do my video here rather than wait until later on. And I've picked all the stuff up from the One Football app, which I'll plug the One Football app tomorrow. But what it's got on there is this deal with Adam Hložek, and they reckon this deal with Hložek is getting closer and closer. Yet they seem to be on. There seems to be this thing that Liverpool are in for him. Liverpool's seriously in for Adam Hložek, which I think is extremely greedy because apparently they're seriously in for Jarrod Bowen. Imagine that. We don't get our number 1 striker target to go to Liverpool and we lose a player to Liverpool as well. That would be very good at all. Rain. Hear it. It's now raining. Anyway, how can Liverpool get this guy? I would understand his desire to go there, but bearing in mind his boss is now West Ham's boss, surely that should just sort of facilitate the move across. I almost went with the lubricate then again. Surely that should smooth the transition from one club to another. I don't know, it's really, really interesting. But what I also notice is in a lot of the links today, a lot of the transfer links are centre-backs, and I really do hope that we're not going to just go and buy a... By the way, we were linked with another giant centre-back, Stark, Nicholas Stark. I say he's giant. He's not really giant. He's only 6'4". He's not the full 6'6" of Weghorst, of course. But Stark we're being linked with again, quite seriously, quite heavily, and there's another article. There's 2 or 3 articles that are basically doing the rounds, suggesting that what's going to happen is David Moyes is going to prioritise a centre-back as his one signing this January. I thought, come on, no, look, it would be nice to have a centre-back, but I think he's gone a little bit centre-back crazy, hasn't he, David Moyes? Let's be perfectly honest with you. It's it's like he's putting the striker off constantly. I don't think he will. I think he will bring in a striker, and I think the more I look at it, Hložek is the man, particularly when I've looked, as I said the other day, I looked at this Vitinho, or what's his name, Vitor Oliveira, something like that, the guy that plays for Braga. He's just not ready yet. He's played 4 games. Hložek was the main guy. I think he possibly was the league's top scorer last season. I might have that wrong, but I thought I read he'd scored 15 goals. He was the league's top scorer. He's got his international teammates. He's already played international football, by the way. He's got Souček over here. He's got Soufal over here. Kraul for the time being. But also the club is part owned by one of his compatriots. Talk about the part ownership. I will deal with that in the next 2 or 3 days. I'm just trying to sort of hit me a little bit by surprise, actually, that one, to be perfectly honest with you. Particularly with the buyout stuff. I know I shouldn't have been surprised because they're always going to look to do a buyout in 2023. But I just want to look a little bit further into the comments that he's made, that he basically spent big at Sparta Prague to start off with. He got burnt, he learnt his lessons. So I just want to look at exactly what he did do at the start of Sparta Prague, exactly what he did spend, just to try and get some idea of what his plans might be for West Ham before I launch in and do a video about it. But nonetheless, I still think, even if he's, whether he's the main shareholder or a partial shareholder, I still think surely his relationship with Hložek should mean that we're able to get that deal over the line. You know, surely you'd certainly think so, wouldn't you? So, you know, look, I think that's there. I think that's there to be done. But I do believe that there's going to be stuff done in January. I'm now worried. I'm sort of worried now about the games coming up. I wasn't that bothered about it. And then Gio turned around and he said, oh, yeah. So, Matt, he said, Gonzo, he said, we got Man City. He said, we got Brighton and we got Chelsea coming up. And I thought, oh, you know, and I know I say this sort of quite a lot, that this is a pivotal point in our season, but this is the pivotal point in our season. And we're going to have to do it without Weghorst, of course. These are, you could see almost any outcome in these next 3 games, because West Ham are a good team. West Ham are playing well, have been good for a long period of time. And let's be fair, it wouldn't be any surprise if we got 7 points from these games. And that would be a really good haul. But it also wouldn't be a surprise if we got 1 point from these 3 games. And that would, I think it would do a couple of things. I think it would sort of knock confidence a little bit, particularly as David Moyes has been alluding to the fact that he can't get on the training pitch to train in between games. And this, I do feel this is a bit of a factor, by the way. He's been talking about preparation, and you are going to need to prepare for a team like City, particularly when you've got a new centre-back partnership. But the other thing I do think is really important, going back onto the transfers, is we need to be as high up in the league as possible to attract these players. When we're going and bidding for these players, we need to be able to say to them, look, come to West Ham. West Ham are a good club. West Ham are in Europe. We're in the knockout stages in Europe, and we're fighting for Europe again. Now, when you're trying to sell that concept to a player, that's a lot easier to do if you're 4th or 5th or 6th than it is if you're 7th or 8th. So the last thing we need to do is lose our next 3 games. I don't think we will, but I do think it's going to be a little bit nip and tuck. It's going to be really, really interesting. But what is important and what is crucial, and we'll deal with this because there's going to be loads of transfer rumours coming up. I think it's easy to link us with centre-backs, but I also think it's probably easier to link us with strikers. I don't know. What I do think we really need to get it done early in the transfer window, not the end of January, start of January. That's vitally important. Right, anyway, listen, I better go and watch the football. I'm shattered. This is my 2nd football match today. Not me personally. I've not played twice. That's why I look at the state of me. Anyway, there we go. Anyway, listen, I'll catch up with you tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Let's hope West Ham top it off lunchtime tomorrow.